So, if they learn about Islam and have their doubts, when they come upon, quote, the sun has to ask permission to rise again after prostrating under the throne of Allah, then they are screwed. I'll address this separately in a moment. Okay. He never responds. Quote, a treaty with polytheists is okay, unquote. And if you read Quran 9.1, it sounds like you have freedom as a Muslim to not abide by it. This concerns a treaty with the Meccans, which they violated. Therefore, the full dissolution of the treaty is announced to them. How come there are no footnotes in the Quran to let us know that, and not give a feeling that as a Muslim you have freedom from obligation when it comes to peace? Some translations have these footnotes, but it's not necessary. How could you feel free from obligation unless you refuse to read Quran? Read verses 3, not 4. Sorry, not 4. Sorry, of the very same chapter. It's self-explanatory. It sounds like those pagans who weren't with the idolaters are fine until the forbidden months are passed. Then they get it along with those that Muslims had no obligation to have a peace treaty with in Quran 9 verse 1. Treaties with those idolaters, quote, lest ye fall in the ways of their forefathers, unquote. He doesn't respond. Another time. No, it was that the treaty breakers were safe till then. Then the idolaters were always safe. But it doesn't read that way, does it? At least, not in the three famous English versions of the Quran I'm familiar with, the Shakir, Pickle, and Yusuf Ali, and none of them have footnotes to say, look, hey, Muslim world, look, this is only history, it can't apply anymore when Muslims get into power. It's only history. How come it doesn't have those footnotes? I know this is the wrong meaning, because this is how it went in real life with the Prophet. When it say, quote, the polytheists, it isn't a blanket statement about every idolater in the land. It was specifically about the Quraysh. And those, quote, lest ye fall in the ways of their forefathers, unquote. By the way, if Muslims are to subdue or kill those, quote, lest ye fall in the ways of their forefathers, how is a Muslim to treat a Christian who Muslims secretly feel is committing the worst of sins by believing that God has a son, a partner, unquote? Hey. Isn't the worst of sins in Islam, quote, shirk? If it is, that kind of tells you that if this system that only raises your low tax double until you submit, and you don't see that contradicting no compulsion in religion, I see, well, it seems like there won't be peace at all unless those who do believe God has a son go underground and have to lie to survive. They will have to be the ones to perform taqiyya. Here, even though it goes against their holy book that says, thou shalt not lie. I mean, in Quran 7, 3-5, Allah sounds like they, is bragging about how many towns and villages it's Allah, destroyed for their sins, destroyed for the pagan sins. And in Islam, again, the worst sin is shirk. Do you think the people of the book, Christians and Jews, are just going to have to worry about paying double that of a Muslim? Are you sure? If so, what, pray tell, happened to shirk, being the worst of sins? Did it disappear with, quote, no compulsion in religion? Hey, I've no problem with paying double when a Muslim pays to keep me from bowing to something Muslims will fight tooth and nail to say is not idolatry to do so. But Daniel, in the book of Daniel, well, let me just tell you this. The book of Daniel goes through my mind, where the three men, Meshach, Abednego, refuse to bow to the image Nebuchadnezzar set up, and they are rewarded with their lives spared from the fiery furnace. He doesn't respond. Okay, another time here. These verses were sent to them in a letter. Surah 9 is not only a chapter of the Quran, but also the beginning was quoted in a message sent to them, giving them 4 months to rectify the treaty. Read Quran 9:4. Quote, but other than that, we give them no protection, unquote. Does that sound clear to you? Oh, sorry, verse 3, not 4. No protection. No protection from whom? Quran 9:4. The Quran 9:3 says, quote, excepting those of the idolaters with whom ye Muslims have a treaty, and who have since abated nothing of your right, nor have supported anyone against you. As of these, fulfill their treaty to them till their term. Lo, Allah loveth those who keep their duty. Right. Yep, He loves those who keep their duty. And when the forbidden months have ended, what then? He doesn't respond. Doesn't respond. Another time. Quote, freedom from obligation is proclaimed from Allah and His Messenger for those of the idolaters with whom ye have made a treaty. You don't find that frightening, do you, sir? Kind of lets you know why rockets kept coming at Israel from the very territory they handed over for a peace treaty, huh? Number 1, travel freely in the land 4 months. The treaty breakers. Really? Where does it say treaty breaking? Where does it say treaty breakers here? And know that you cannot escape Allah, and Allah will confound the disbelievers in His guidance. Right? Tell us something we don't know. Number 2, and a proclamation from Allah and His Messenger to all men on the day of the great pilgrimage that Allah is free from obligation to the idolaters. Right, able to break treaties with idolaters. How come you presented it twice? And so is His Messenger. So if you repent, the meaning here is to amend the treaty with which we excuse me, which that we given 4 months to do. It will be better for you. But if you are averse, then no, you cannot escape Allah. Give tidings, O Muhammad, of a painful doom to those who disbelieve. Well, what about to you, your religion, to me, mine? Accepting those of, number 3, accepting those of the idolaters with whom ye Muslims have a treaty, and who have since abated nothing of your right, nor have supported anyone against you. In other words, continue to be nice to them until, come on, keep on going. As for these, fulfill the treaty to them till their term. Lo, Allah loveth those who keep their duty unto Him. Right, don't kill them. They are exempted from being included in any of these statements of war. So when the 4 months are up, they are still safe, but the Quraysh are not. Where does it say Quraysh here? 4. Then, when the sacred months have passed, say the idolaters, right, kill those who disbelieve, aren't Muslim. Got that. Especially the Quraysh. and it's only supposed to be for that time, not any time when Muslims are strong in number. True? Wherever you find them, and take them captive, and besiege them, and prepare for them each ambush. But if they repent and establish worship, and pay the port to right, if they become Muslims, then leave their way free. Though Allah is forgiving, merciful. But if they want to continue performing shirk, the worst of sins, by believing that God has a son, and are with knowledge, and don't want to hear the Quran, as Quran 9:6 says, will give them safe passage, then they get what those pagans got in Quran 9:5. True? They are killed.